Alright guys, so Fulu with another video. Shout outs to the whole LDBC. Make sure you go sign up to the LDBC Sports website. Make sure you cop the merch, and also go ahead and download the app too. So shout outs to Ellie Setback for getting this footage basically. So it appears that Jarrell Miller, Big Baby Miller, basically spilled the beans that we kind of already knew about. I was very surprised at what he was saying, and it just relates to what a lot of us have been saying. So I guess what happened was Ellie Setback FaceTime Jarrell Miller, and basically he spilled the beans. I mean, his gums were flapping. I mean, he was singing. Like, if he wanted to, he's the type of cat that you really wouldn't want to be around if you and your boys just made a just hit a lick, and y'all get caught, and then the pressure's on. That nigga made Tekashi 6ix9ine your ass. Now, the first thing that was really telling of this whole thing was the fact that Jarrell Miller said the first thing that was really telling, that most of us would have guessed before. And these are his words. These aren't my own words, or these aren't my desires and my daydreams or anything like that. And I'll put the link to that video in the description box. Jarrell Miller said that Anthony Joshua or Eddie Hearn wanted the Tyson Fury fight. He just straight out said it, that they never wanted it. So again, we see that Eddie Hearn saying things like, I texted Tyson Fury and we've been in contact with each other. I think all the text had to do with is basically, who do you got to win this weekend, Chelsea or Man City? And are you betting on that game? Like, I don't think it had anything to do with fighting, basically. Now, one can assume that they never wanted the Deontay Wilder fight either. One can also assume that they wanted nothing to do with Luis King Kong Ortiz either, and that was just huff and puffing, basically. Right? Now, on to the Dillian White scenario, which he talked about as well. Jarrell Miller said that Dillian White was offered $2 million. He didn't want that fight. Was offered $3 million. He didn't want to take it. Was offered $4 million. Didn't want to take it. But here's the other stipulation that I found surprising. They were going to put a rematch clause in that fight. So what does that tell you right away? That AJ is really trying to ride that paper champ train as long as he can. Now here's like what AJ is doing is basically like describes a line that this Philadelphia rapper said. You know, this Philadelphia rapper said, you know, that these guys are studio gangsters, they're paper pimps. Until you put that 45 to their chest like Ray LaFrance. Now, you can say that about AJ, that, you know, he huffs and puffs. Says that I want to fight this guy, I want to fight that guy. Mentions the big time heavyweights, the world class heavyweights. But when it's time to put pen to paper and negotiate, that shit is like bogus as hell. Now, the fact that they will put a rematch clause in a Dillian White fight reminds me of like Street Fighter, the game, where, you know, one guy wins one round. Like let's do a scenario. Let's just say Anthony Joshua was Balrog in Street Fighter. And then Dillian White, of course, he's Birdie in Street Fighter. You know, they're tied around a piece, right? But they want to determine who wins the whole enchilada. And they have to go to the third round. But the thing is this. The thing is me personally, and probably a lot of other people, but minus UK Anthony Joshua fanatics and Decafs Anonymous, who don't have profile pics and come and troll in these chat rooms and come and troll my page constantly. They're the only ones who will want to see that third fight, you know. But us, I mean, me personally, I don't need to see Dillian White fight again. He offers nothing. To be honest, he offers nothing that meets the eye. I mean, when you look at his fighting style, when you look at how he fought Derek Chisora the second time, you know, the guy, he was lifting his shorts up to, like, you know, when you punch him in the treasure trove, he was looking for a low blow. When he was using his forearm to hold Chisora down, didn't get any points taken off. And to be honest, Chisora was giving him some work, you know. I'm gonna be honest with you. But then, of course, he hit him with that hook, you know. But Dillian White doesn't do anything good except for that flaming headbutt that, you know, his alter ego does in Street Fighter. You know, that's the only thing I think he has an edge on, is that flaming headbutt that, you know, these referees allow to slide and call it an accidental clash of heads. I mean, at this point, Dillian White, you know, I think of him as a B- C+ fighter. Like, he has not done anything that makes me say about him that, oh, this guy is a world-class fighter, you know. And you look at his resume, it's like, who the hell has he beat? Chisora, who is over the hill anyway, fighting for a paycheck? Or maybe not even fighting for a paycheck. That dude may have been fighting for some water and a loaf of bread, for all we know. So, you know, nobody wants to see no third fight of Anthony Joshua and Dillian White. Now, here's the other thing he said that we know, what we can draw conclusions from what he said in this. He also said that Well, first let me get to this part. Let me get to the fact that, you know, Eddie Hearn, he offered him he offered him more money, you know, than he did Dillian White. I think, you know, that bag is because, you know, this is Anthony Joshua's U.S. debut. So, contrary to belief, although boxing is not the #1 sport in the U.S., the market is bigger, which means more money to play with, you know. And the UK market is just smaller. And the thing is about the UK market is like, that market is a separate market from the whole European market as a whole. Like, I'm pretty sure if I go to France and I ask them, like, who is Anthony Joshua, they're going to say, Je ne sais pas. If I go to Italy and I say, you know, okay, Anthony Joshua, they're going to look at me stupid. They're going to be like, no capisce. If I go to Spain, they're going to be like, no sé. And the thing is like, if the UK market was bigger for boxing, why wouldn't they have the fight in the UK? You know, like, that's just the bottom line. I'm pretty sure, you know, this is just me. I'm pretty sure that if the bag was big enough, Big Baby Miller would go fight in the UK. I'm 100% positive he would go fight there. Now, he said something else pretty telling. There's a rematch clause in this fight coming. So this was Eddie Hearn's plan all along. And I don't know why I didn't even think of it. You know, I'm like, damn, this shit hit me like I want to say like a counterpunch. Like, damn, you know, like I didn't think about this, you know. So I guess, like, Eddie Hearn figures that Anthony Joshua fans will be happy seeing a prospect at that, not even a contender, not even a world-class fighter, a prospect getting knocked smooth the hell out by Anthony Joshua, and then wanting to see that shit again. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure they would have put a rematch clause in Povetkin if they could have. So what I expect to happen, you know, is I really wouldn't be surprised if they have a trilogy of this fight. You know, it would not surprise me at all, man, with these guys. So, with these words, you know, with these words that were said to Elie Seckbach, I mean, one just has to jump to conclusions that Anthony Joshua never intended on unifying those belts. Anthony Joshua never intended on trying to get that lineal belt. Anthony Joshua never intended to make amends for Luis Ortiz being put out of the WBA rankings by his request. These were not part of his plans at all. So, you know, Big Baby Miller also said, this is another thing he said in the interview. He said that Deontay Wilder is not known in the U.S. Deontay Wilder is not as, you know, as charismatic, as popular as he is even. He said that, you know, that Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder fight didn't do what it was supposed to do, and that the only reason that fight was what it was is because the whole undercard was based on Brooklyn fighters. But I mean, last time I checked, Luis Ortiz is from Cuba, trains out in Miami, I believe. And last time I also checked, Jarrett Hurd is from Maryland. But I think he was in whatchamacallit, LA, training for that brawl, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's where he had the training camp. So that was irrelevant. Now, as far as his popularity goes, I kid you not, I walk, if I'm traveling, seeing my people in New York, be it Harlem, be it Queens, be it Brooklyn. I'm through all them boroughs, Bed-Stuy, Brownsville, whatever the case may be. Nobody knows no damn Jarrell Big Baby Miller. The hell? They're like, what the hell? Niggas know Shine, the rapper, more than they do Jarrell Miller, and he's been deported for a cool minute, but people still know him. They be like, damn, Fula, you mess with my guy Shine? You be listening to my guy Shine? But I guarantee you, if I say, yo, who's Big Baby Miller? Do you know him? They're going to be like, nah, man, I don't know, B. They're going to say that, man. I'm serious. He also said he disliked Anthony Joshua. He also said that he don't respect Anthony Joshua. He also said that in order to win against Anthony Joshua, he's going to have to punch him in the balls. So he was just doing the huffing and puffing to like hype up the fight like usual. You know, that's his job, you know. He said that he has more power than people think, and that he wasn't even at that he was just at 60% of his power in his previous fights. But I don't believe that for a second, you know. And then Ellie sat back, like, I mean, I can't really blame him, like a reporter should do. I mean, he was just popping him up, gassing him up, saying that, you know, oh, you know, you're powerful. You guys both got knockouts and stuff like that. You're gonna be a big name now, since you're gonna be a big name after this fight. You know, what do you think? This, that, and the other. Shit, big name my ass. Who is like, shoot, after the smoke clears, niggas in Bed-Stuy are gonna be like, Big Baby Miller, Anthony Joshua. They're gonna pull a Soldier Boy. Big Baby Miller, Anthony Joshua. So, I mean, honestly, personally, I don't see this fight doing well. I could be wrong. I have made wrong calculations before, but I just don't see anything coming out of this fight that says success, success, success. For one, it's an app that they're fighting on. For two, Madison Square Garden ain't used to this trash that they're putting on. All right? So, with this being said, and what Lennox Lewis said, that Anthony Joshua ruined his chance at becoming unified and things like that. You know, I mean, I don't think nothing of it. You know, I'm not mutual or anything like that. I will say that, you know, Big Baby Miller, the only chance he have with Anthony Joshua, I don't want to make no pre-fight predictions too soon, but the only chance he have with Anthony Joshua is pressure. You know, that's it. Pressure and maybe holding. You know, because if you have to push a 300-pound guy around a lot, that shit will be tiring and will eventually wear you down, you know. So, I mean, I really am not surprised at this stuff, man, that's being said. I don't really think much of it anymore, man. It's just like basically beating a dead horse, you know. UK fans are excited. Of course, Big Baby Miller's lying about the numbers that it's doing and it's selling and stuff like that, as I expect him to do, because Eddie Hearn probably gives him a script and says, yeah, man, you got to stick to the script, lad, you know. So, yeah, with that being said, I'm not surprised. I mean, there's only so much you can do when Brexit is affecting your asses. I mean, I'm not going to lie, man. I talked to my uncle in the UK who lives there, and he said people are actually standing outside trying to get free meals and stuff, you know. He says that shit is, like, really hitting them. So I really see the U.S. market, like, being their best bet at this point in time, because if people can't even eat, what makes you think they're going to pay some pay-per-view for some boxing? They can't even eat. I'm not saying that's all the people, but, I mean, if you have people, working professionals in line, asking for food, what does that tell you? But that's all I got for now, guys, man. Leave your comments. You know, I just want to cook off of that. Put the link in the description box, and y'all follow it. Y'all be the judges of it, and let me know what y'all got from that video. Signing out, man. Look out for the Foolish Effect again. We're gonna have another show. This time, maybe this show is not going to be about boxing. It's going to be more about some serious shit, and that's going to come in the future, near future. I'm off until the next one, guys. I'm Jarrell Miller.